first of all, for a man to go on his social media and say, you don't deserve what I am doing to you. Firstly, sir, if you know she doesn't deserve it, why do you keep doing it? Secondly, ma'am, this man is already telling you he hates you. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all doing well. In today's video, we're gonna talk about what's happening in these streets. There's a lot going down in the area of relationships, in the area of social media. So much is happening right now. Influencers are getting in trouble. So much is happening. There's blood in the streets, girl. But I wanted to come and talk about a few things that have happened that have caused our hope and our faith in relationships to kind of go down, and hopefully give you some encouragement and some wisdom to help forming expectations for relationships using social media, viewing celebrity relationships. So those are all the things that we're going to talk about in this video. Whilst I do my makeup, I'm actually getting ready to record a podcast episode and I'm running a lot later than anticipated. But I hope that you enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do, or why not just give it a thumbs up for my cute face, and definitely hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a video from me. 2022, we come in with the content, baby, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video from me. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So as always, I'm gonna start off by doing my brows. All of my stuff, usually when I'm in my studio, when I was in my studio, my stuff would be in front of me on a table, but I'm in a bedroom now. It feels like OG when I started YouTube, from like when I started YouTube and I was doing Chit-Chat, Get Ready With Me, and I kind of like it, but the stuff is over here. So if I'm turning around, I'm looking down, I'm maneuvering, it's because I'm looking for my makeup, okay? A lot has been going on the internet when it comes to relationships, and it's been sitting in my spirit. I don't know why, but it's really been sitting on my heart to talk about it, because it's kind of been making me sad. As somebody who's been single for a long time and has done a lot of like personal development work and grew up witnessing dysfunctional relationships, I have had to do a lot of processing and like learning when it comes to relearning healthy relationships, like forming a new perception and perspective of relationships, as well as strengthening myself in different relationships when it comes to like family, friendship, but also romantic ones and dating, and priming myself to eventually get in a long-term romantic relationship, as well as looking at marriage from different perspectives, from a faith perspective, a social perspective, a financial and political perspective. I have been looking into interpersonal relationships a lot, and sometimes the things that I see makes me sad for like my generation. Why am I not doing my makeup? Basically, we're about to record the To My Sisters episode, and I need to get ready. It has been a long day. I haven't gotten ready yet, so let's go do that. I'm just gonna tuck. This is how I'm gonna have my hair in the episode, and that's how you know I have no time, because I haven't gotten a chance to put my hair like in a style. So I'm just gonna do a classic ponytail. So let's start off with these brows and let's get into these topics. I feel like for us, the generation that grew up with social media, no matter how old you are, obviously social media has become more accessible. It has become pretty much a part of our everyday lives, and for some of us, the time it takes up of our lives is detrimental. But even if you don't spend that long on social media is shaping the world. It's shaping the way we perceive things, ourselves, people, work, money, our career, stuff like that. And I think it's important to also talk about the things that, is this the right pencil? Because this is looking a bit light. Am I using the wrong thing? Yeah, I am. I thought I'd bring you a little bit closer so that you can actually see what's going on. I can't find the pencil that I usually use, so I have to use this lighter brown pencil. Only God knows how this is going to look on camera, really. Tell me if it looks bad. And as much as I love the internet and its many possibilities, I am also very mindful of the fact that the internet is a place that needs to be, or it's like a gallery that needs to be curated. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of entertainment out there. There's a lot to be viewed, and there's a lot to take your attention, right? And a lot of things demanding your attention. There's also access to things that many people wouldn't have had access to a couple decades ago. Somebody's whole life or marriage or mental health falling apart is pretty much something that you would have seen maybe on a tabloid, or if they're big enough, it would make TV or a newspaper. But for the most part, you weren't in people's business like that because it wasn't really possible. But the information highway, that is the internet, has made it very possible to stay in other people's business and be invested in other people's business, including their relationships. That can obviously be a good thing, a bad thing. It provides entertainment, but it also shapes your perception of the world. It shapes your understanding of the world, and it shapes your behavior to a certain degree depending on how and what you are influenced by. And so the reason why I wanted to make this video was because I feel like certain things are kind of damaging our perspectives and perceptions of relationships, and it's also dropping the standard of relationships, and it's posing a threat to our future relationships, if I'm being honest. That's my opinion. I've actually spoken about this with a few friends, and some people have asked me about my opinion. I don't really have one until now, because I think what made me form an opinion about the Devon Franklin and Megan Good situation, which is what we're about to talk about, was people asking me what my opinion was. That's what made me have an opinion. And my opinion was, why are you asking? Why are we so invested in other people's relationships? Why is the breaking down of somebody's relationship shattering your whole perception of marriage? Now, I'm not stupid. I know that we can look to certain people for inspiration, and obviously they had written a book and they look like, you know, this couple and an example of Christian relationships, or relationships that people may aspire to, relationships in the public eye, relationships with two people who kind of have an understanding of their purpose, a love for each other, a love for God, and who have kind of publicized their relationship to be an example to other people. So I get it. I get why people were rooting for them, and I therefore get why people were upset or bothered for when they announced that they were getting divorced recently on social media. However, I think it's very dangerous when you put all of your hopes in hashtag relationship goals. It's a dangerous playing ground. Why? It's easy to idolize people's relationships that you do not fully understand, or idolize relationships that you do not fully understand. It's also easy to put false expectations on people and not give them room to actually go through the motions of their own life and the complexities that exist within their own relationship, within their own psyche, and within their own history and experience. And I find with the internet and celebrity culture, a lot of people put the weight of their entire expectations and hopes and dreams on the shoulders of people who, yes, sometimes, and this is a criticism on them, sometimes they monetize it, they kind of use it to their advantage, but often it's because people put that weight on them already, and they see, okay, if I'm going to live with this weight, how can I take advantage of it? And of course, then it invites more people to put the hopes, to put the hashtag relationship goals, the expectations, the I'm looking to you for inspiration, I'm looking to you for guidance. That's a vicious cycle, in my opinion. However, I think it's important for us as consumers of the internet to realize that putting your hopes on somebody whose full story you do not know is a very dangerous game to play. You don't see the full experience of what happens behind closed doors. And this is not talking about Devon Franklin and Megan Good situation. This is not a gossip channel. It's very dangerous to put your expectations and your hopes and to make the relationships of somebody who you do not fully know the barometer for your perspective or your desire for a relationship, or your hope and faith in a relationship or in a partner. For example, the same thing happened when De'Ara and Ken broke up, and I was a big DK for L fan. I've been watching them for years, and so when they broke up, I was a bit upset, but I would never dare utter from my mouth, this is why I would never be able to stay in a relationship, this is why relationships don't last, I've lost all my hope for relationships. God forbid. How can that's not something you should put your hope in. These things are fleeting. People are fallible. And relationships are also very tough. They are very hard. And everyone's circumstance, everyone's relationship is different, because everyone in the relationship, all the parties in the relationship, are bringing in different baggage. And that baggage is probably very unique to yours. And their dynamic is unique. And it is very different to yours. And it's important to appreciate that difference. And I'm not saying don't look to people for, you know, example, or okay, this person did this, maybe we should try that, or you know, this person is giving good advice on relationships. What I'm saying is, chew the meat, spit out the bones. There are some things which you take because they're helpful to you, they're enjoyable, they're necessary, they help you grow, they help you strengthen yourself. However, there are some things you have to spit out because it's not good for you. It's important to go in with that kind of discernment or that kind of wisdom that says, you know what you're saying can help me, but I've got to take it, apply it to my unique situation, and also give you the room to be your unique person. And that means go through your unique successes and your unique or personal struggles. And sometimes I think we don't give people who we put on this pedestal the room to do that, and therefore they end up disappointing us and we end up misplacing our hopes. For me personally, the greatest strength I have had is realizing that relationships are not guaranteed success. They are a field of work. Simply entering into a relationship or having a partner is not the goal. It's not that it's not the goal, it's a part of the goal, but it's just a simple step. Getting a partner, you can get one from anywhere. The difficulty comes in allowing yourself to be shaped, allowing yourself to go through the challenges of fighting for something and fighting for somebody, and allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to evolve so that you can sustain that relationship, but also being on a team, right? That's the challenge of relationship. And because of that, because of the weight and the responsibility that being in a relationship brings, it is not guaranteed success. Like, it's really not. It takes work, and we don't know the work that certain people have to do in their relationships to keep it working, and we also don't know the fights that unfortunately they lose. But I think it's unfortunate if we allow ourselves to see relationships and what we think of a person, like, oh, this person seems super nice and that person's super handsome, and if that person can get cheated on, then what hope do I have? Your hope is in Jesus. Your hope is in Christ. Your hope should be in the fact that you know you're going to do the work. Or your hope should be in the fact that I love this person enough. This person loves me. Your hope should be in the fact that we made a vow or a commitment to each other if you're married to say we are going to do this for better or for worse. And I can bet on us to wake up and at least try. Even on the bad days when we don't talk to each other, I can bet on us to at least come to at some point and say, you know what, are we going to work on this marriage or not? That's what I bet on. I bet on love. I bet on God. I bet on the fact that this marriage is on a firm foundation. I'm not going to bet on somebody I don't know. I'm not going to bet on somebody whose character I cannot fully vouch for because I follow them on Instagram. They've written a book, and this is no criticism to them. This is actually me telling myself, you need to go and get some better foundations. You need to go and get some stronger foundations, because the thing you're putting your hope in right now, sinkable. Absolutely sinkable. And then we come and we say these things like, oh, relationship, this is why relationships are a scam. And I'm scared for our generation to an extent, because I think we have seen the hardships of relationships. I think we've seen them in personal experiences. We've seen them firsthand, maybe from our parents. And we've grown up in a time where marriage has not been one of the key cornerstones of society or one of the main values of society, you know? And that's okay, you believe in what you believe. However, I think it's important, if you are pursuing a relationship, for you to really decide for yourself, what are my values here? What is the importance of this for me? What are my principles when it comes to relationships and romance? What are my boundaries? What are my non-negotiables? What am I lacking in? What do I need to work on? What are my what weak points? Like, what are my strong points? Like, you have to decide and do some serious self-awareness and really think about yourself and really look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, am I suited to pair myself and start journeying with someone else so closely? And this applies to any form of relationship, right? Business partnership, friendship, best friends, like sisterhood, whatever it may be. You have to assess yourself in that. And it's not to say people who fail in that are not self-aware. I've already said, like, marriage is not guaranteed success. Relationships are not guaranteed success. It's a field of work. Fields of work, they are what you make it. You discover what you discover. You put in that work, and sometimes you won't even discover anything after years and years of work. However, you have to try. You have to try. And that then brings me on to talk about what happens when people don't want to do the work. What happens when someone decides, nah, I ain't gonna act right. I don't care if this works. I'ma be trifling. Let's talk about Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thomas? I don't even know the man's name. Let's talk about Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian's situation. I'm not gonna give my 2 pence on what she should do, what he has done, blah, 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 blah. If you don't know what's happened, basically Tristan Thompson has fathered another child by another woman. This is not the first time this has happened while he's been in a relationship with Khloe Kardashian, I don't think. He's also famous stories of him being unfaithful whilst in a relationship with her. She is also a mother of his child, or one of his children. You know, a lot of people are saying, you know, why is she still with this guy? Men will embarrass you. But I think what we are seeing with these repeated stories of, especially public figures, being unfaithful to their spouses is it's kind of changing our because it's happening so often, it is becoming, there's no shock factor to it anymore. We're kind of becoming used to it, and to a degree it's becoming normalized because people keep saying men are going to cheat. Today I even read an article that was saying it's what men do. Men cheat. First of all, I rebuke the standard that we have for men being in the absolute ground, because to be unfaithful, to participate in continual infidelity, to not be able to keep your word, to not be able to protect your name, protect your integrity, it's not just a red flag, it is the sign of an unstable man. It is the sign of somebody who doesn't care about themselves, their future, their children's future, their home, their legacy. That speaks volumes to me personally. And the same for a woman as well. And this is not me saying that people don't find themselves in certain predicaments. However, life is full of predicaments. You got choices to make. And I think it's sad when you kind of see a generation of people who are losing faith in relationship, losing faith in covenant, losing faith in family and systems, which should work, losing faith. And I don't care if you don't believe in monogamy. Take that to another channel. I don't give a damn. I think it's sad when you see that happening to an entire generation. And like I said, I get it. I get it. The repeated images, the repeated stories, growing up and, you know, seeing news articles, and I don't know why this was on the news so much, of like Tiger Woods has cheated on his wife, this person has been caught cheating. It's like, gosh, is this what people do? Like, are people just unfaithful? Can no one keep their word? And again, you have to put your hope in something a lot stronger. But whenever situations like this happen, obviously people's first reaction is, why does she keep staying? Why is she not? Because for a man, first of all, for a man to go on his social media and say, you don't deserve what I am doing to you. Firstly, sir, if you know she doesn't deserve it, why do you keep doing it? Secondly, ma'am, this man is already telling you he hates you. Why are you not listening? Why are you not listening? He's publicly said it. I don't care to preserve your sanity. I don't care to preserve your emotional healing. I don't care. What I'm trying to do is cover my behind. You are the collateral damage, and I don't care. Not to put word in Tristan Thompson's mouth, but that's what I would interpret it as. You are the collateral damage of my reckless decisions, and I don't care to seize my recklessness. So either you remove yourself from this situation, or you're actually choosing to continue to get hurt. And this is not me putting blame on her. This is me saying, again, you have a choice to make now. Things happen to us which are sometimes beyond our control because they're dependent on other people's choices, right? However, once their choices have been made and they affect us, we now have a choice to make on our response. There's a lot of things that inform that choice, and I think I'm not a psychologist. I don't know Khloe. I don't know Khloe Kardashian. If I did, things would be a lot different in my life story. And I want to kind of take this away from Khloe Kardashian and just talk about cheating in general and kind of this perception that we are having that cheating will be inevitable. First of all, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, when people are cheated on, they should definitely leave. It's the end of a relationship. I think a lot of us have seen grown up seeing infidelity in some way, or abuse in some way, or something that you would think to yourself, this is unacceptable, and this is dysfunctional in a relationship. I think a lot of us have seen a variation of that, whether it is neglect, financial, emotional, verbal, physical abuse, or infidelity. multiple infidelities. I think it's important for us to acknowledge that Khloe has been in a boat that many women have been in since the beginning of time. It's important to not just put this on. It's easy to sit on the internet sometimes and be like, somebody is stupid for not leaving. I would do X, Y, Z. I don't know that situation. I really don't. And I don't know, I don't know anyone's situation. You probably don't know everyone's situation. So you can stand on the outside and judge, but they're making their choices. So I'm not judging that. But what I want to do is kind of talk about the things that we should consider when we make the choices that we make. And the first of it is, it's very easy to deflect blame from the person who should actually receive it. People need to realize that there is consequences for bad behavior. There is consequences for violated boundaries. You cannot allow people's behavior to go unaddressed and unconfronted simply to keep the peace between you and them, because blame always needs to be assigned. Always, in any situation, there needs to be a pinpoint of its origin. Humans are naturally like that. Our first question whenever we see something new, where did this come from? If something comes out of your eyesight, you're gonna be thinking, if something comes into your eye line, your first question is going to be, where did that come from, right? Whether it be a flash of light, a rat, like whatever it may be, a car coming into your lane, you're going to ask yourself, where did that come from? You're gonna try and find that point of origin. It's the same thing with mistakes. It's the same things even with successes. We try to find the history of something so that we can establish what it actually is, or so that we can recreate it, so that we can avoid it. And it's the same thing with blame. We try to find the origin of what caused this issue so that I can assign blame, okay? Blame always needs to be assigned. Oftentimes, blame is misplaced because we don't want to cause tension between us and the person who inflicted the harm, right? And so what happens is we misplace blame and it leads to either internal or external destruction. What that looks like is often blaming yourself, looking for reasons why you may have deserved this, why you should have seen this coming, why you are basically to blame for this. Not my wig sliding back, but a lot is happening, child. If it slides back, I'm going to readjust it for filming, don't worry. A lot of us will look to blame ourselves. We will blame ourselves and we'll look for reasons why we deserve this, what we haven't done enough to make that person feel as though they should have treated us right. Rather than seeing their actions as a reflection of themselves, we see it as a reflection on us. We see it as a reflection on our self-worth, on our dignity, on our whether we are good enough, whether we are valuable enough, whether we are doing enough. We question if we are enough. And the second is external distraction. You find somebody else to blame, right? So it may be the person that he cheated with, the person that fathered the kid. It could be the kid themselves. You'll put the weight of your relationships or the responsibility of your relationship's destruction on somebody else, another external factor that you can blame. It could be their friends that didn't stop them. It could be you beginning to despise their work and their career with the belief that if they weren't in it or if they weren't doing that, they would treat you better. You know, it could be whatever. You'll find an external thing to blame. And I think we've even seen this in like Khloe Kardashian's situation, I'm sad to say, with her blaming Jordan Woods. You know, you're the reason why my family has been ruined. Is that so? Is that so? Because I think multiple counts of fathering other children outside of your relationship would say otherwise, you know? And it's easy to deflect blame on somebody else and see them as the pinpoint of the problem, when really the problem is him. The problem is him. The problem is the culprit. The problem is the person. And it's not saying it's entirely their fault. There are probably many parties in the situation who are to be blamed or who could be blamed, but put the majority of the weight on the person who held the responsibility to uphold your relationship with you. And that brings me on to a second point. Even if somebody chooses to stay in a relationship after something has been done to break down trust, they're often staying because they want to do the work. They want to work for their relationship. A lot of people are not in circumstances where they could leave the relationship or the situation. Maybe financial issues, traditional issues, you know, divorce is not accepted in every culture. Or, you know, being a single mother is a taboo in many cultures. It could just be the end of all the good things, you know, your social life, your financial stability, your current lifestyle, whatever that may be. So for some people, actually letting this man go is not the better option. It's worse. I get it. I get that there are different contexts in which keeping him may make more sense. However, if you are going to fight for a relationship, listen, relationships are built and strengthened on the efforts of two people. Those individuals' connection to God, or their awareness of themselves and their drive to become better people, and also their commitment to each other. But relationships are built on two. If you are going to fight for this relationship and you want to try and make it work, make sure both of you are working. Make sure both of you are putting in the effort. Or you'll find yourself fighting for something that the other person doesn't even want. They don't want it. They want it. Even if they haven't explicitly said it to you, they want it to fail. I'm doing one very thick eyeliner and I need to figure that out because that's not what I intended to do, but I guess we're going for the grungy look today. I don't even know. Both of you have to be fighting for this. Both of you have to choose to fight for this. Both of you have to choose to put the pieces back together again. Both of you need to choose to be invested and actually do the work to repair what has been broken. Or what you'll find is there will always be somebody, the person who is working for this relationship will always be crushed under the trampling feet, the trampling, trifling feet of the person who is using their dedication as a doormat. You need to really be honest with yourself and the person. Are we both willing to do this work? And sometimes, you know, they might not explicitly be ready to do the work. And yes, sometimes that's something you might decide. I need to go to prayer. I just need to go into a time of prayer and intercede for him. Okay, cool. That might be your modus operandi, but make sure God has given you a promise and make sure God has given you some hope. So I hope that they can find reconciliation. I hope that they can actually find strength for them, their child, and their relationship. But what I think is important for us to do as a generation of people is to really assess, what are my beliefs about relationships? Where have they come from? How can I start rebuilding hope in relationships? Especially if you are someone, let's even take it away from social media, right? What if you grew up seeing dysfunctional relationships your whole life? What if you grew up similar to how I did, seeing domestic violence in several households? What happens when your whole childhood was you being socialized by the media and seeing failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship? You have to get re-socialized. You have to find different norms and values. You need to find different examples and sources of inspiration. And thankfully, the internet is there for you to do that. But also, you have people around you whose experiences, knowledge, and wisdom that you can actually draw on, which I think is important to highlight. Celebrities are not our only examples of relationships. They are not the only example of relationships that we can go to and draw inspiration from or seek wisdom from. They're not. And even if you don't personally know anyone, I would encourage you to get to know somebody, an older couple or a couple close to your age, or maybe multiple couples, preferably multiple couples, who are in relationships and who are doing the work of relationships every single day, who know its hardships, who know its realities, and who can actually share that with you, who can show you that example. One of the first conversations I had about the Megan Good and Devon Franklin situation actually put this into perspective for me, because it was my brother-in-law who asked me, and my brother-in-law and my sister, I'm going to put both of their handles in the description down below, but my older sister and her husband have been married for over 10 years now. They got married when they were quite young, actually younger than me even. They had been waiting for a child for 10 years. For 10 years they had been through various different things. It's their story to tell, but they always had faith that they would have kids. They were literally holding on to a promise from God, and after 10 years they had my nephew. Very recently they had my nephew, and their story is so beautiful, but it's a story of resilience, it's a story of hope, it's a story of pain, it's also a story of dedication to one another and a decision to love each other, literally for better or for worse, right? I am so privileged to have access to, view, and draw from the well of that relationship, because that is the reality of many relationships. Maybe not that specific situation, but the fact that there's something we have to choose to fight through together. I was able to see that play out every single day for the years that I have been able to witness their marriage. It's important for you to also have someone who can show you the realities of the fact that this thing is not to be played with. A lot of us are getting into relationships giddy, okay? Really realize that relationships are heavier than that, especially committed relationships. You need something that's going to give you not just reference, but hope and reassurance for your own future, okay? for a lot of us, that will be the word of God, you know, praying and just hoping and being dedicated to doing the work and getting ourselves educated. But sometimes we need to see the manifestation, and we need to see an example of someone who has walked through the trenches and actually come out of the other side. Social media doesn't often show you we went through this and we got out. However, you see those things in real life. And so even if you don't know people in functional relationships in your social circle, or in your church, or in your community, or in your mosque, or wherever you are, maybe you don't even see it in your own household, get somebody who has it. Get someone who's doing it, and get someone who has done it, because that's wisdom that you can draw on infinitely, right? That's something that can actually help encourage you. Social media can't really do that. Social media can inspire you, it can educate you, but it can rarely encourage you in the way that you need in your specific moment, in your specific circumstance. Also, you don't know everyone's story, and these are people who you can get proximity to, who can share that story with you, and it will give you so much more of an appreciation for what is happening. I need to find the eyelashes that I brought here, because I need to put them on right now, okay? I'm gonna go and get those, and then we're gonna come and close out this video. Oh, actually, I need to put on highlighter. I do actually want to show you that on camera, because it makes me look nice and glowy. This is definitely a look that is more like, that is darker than I would usually do. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I look cute. Like, don't get it twisted. Oh, I should have been using this mirror the whole time. This mirror is lovely. Much bigger as well. You know me and this laminated brow look, I really like it. So, actually, do you know me of this? I don't know if I've actually shown you me using this product properly on YouTube. I absolutely love the brow. I don't know the full name of this product. I'm going to put it on, because I threw away the box as soon as I got it, and it's not on the actual, like, jar. So, I will put it on the screen, but I absolutely love this brow gel by Refy. I don't really know what they're called, and you know me and my bushness, I don't really know. I just use this to kind of spike up my brows, give my brows that kind of laminated, very full model-esque look that's popular right now. I feel like skinny brows are coming back though. It's something I'll never be able to get with, but good for you lot who like it. Like, I think they are super cute when they're done on other people. I don't know if skinny brows. I had skinny brows in uni. I put in a picture of it once on Instagram, and people were like, I really like you with like the thinner brows. Thank you. I don't know if I want to do that though. My biggest fear is basically that I'll do like the skinny brow thing. I'll like shape my brows in a really thin way, and then they won't grow back for like years. I am too indecisive to be committed to thin brows for the rest of my life, girl. I can do that when I'm old. When I go into these Chit-Chat Get Ready With Me's, I rarely ever know, apart from when I did the WizKid one, I rarely ever, oh, and the one before that. Okay, this situation, I didn't know what look I wanted to do, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it ties in with the top. I rarely ever wear grey, I know that for sure. So it ties in with the top nicely. Let's go and get this eyelash glue and find the eyelashes, child. So yeah, sis, I've done a lot of talking, but my hope is that we are able to guard our minds and guard our hearts and the gates to them as we maneuver through this world. Social media is a great tool, but like with most things, it can be used in a destructive way. And these things are, you know, things you don't do intentionally, but they happen. You know, your perceptions get shaped and warped and informed, and you don't even realize it's happening, right? Let's put these eyelashes on. Oh, these are nice. These are the Chem Beauty eyelashes that I showed you in the first vlog. No, in the vlog that went up yesterday. Okay, we are done, beautiful people. That is the look. I haven't been using setting spray as of recent, just because I've been finding that I don't need it. Also, if my lash glue is not fully dry and you're seeing like white patches on my eye, that's what that is. Oh, I like how these eyelashes are nice. I like how this look turned out. It's just like a sultry, neutral look. The eyelashes are really doing most of the talking, which is invited. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this video could help you in any way. I hope it has given you something to think about. Let me know even if you disagree with me. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts about the entire situations that are happening around relationships right now, from divorces to cheating boyfriends and all of that. But also, I just pray for you. I pray for your heart. I pray for your mind. I pray that anything that you may have seen, anything that you may have experienced that has caused you to lose hope, that actually hurt you, that caused you pain, and that warped your trust and your faith in people and relationships and the power of them and in love in general. I just pray for healing for you, and I just pray that you experience a love that really does revive you, and I pray that you experience healing that does allow you to take the steps towards that, and I pray that you also find something in your life that is functional, healthy, beneficial, and that teaches you and draws you also closer to the unfailing love of God. And so without further ado, let me close out this video because we have a podcast episode to record, which you should definitely check out. It comes out Sunday the 9th. I don't know what date Sunday is. It comes out Sunday the 9th of January. Definitely make sure you have subscribed, turn on that notification bell, okay? And I will talk to you very soon, and as always, stay beautiful and stay blessed.